Subhanshu Shukla మీడియాతో మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
Of it, the conversations that you have, the interaction that you have with people who have had a history of human space flight, it is invaluable. And I think all of this information that I have been able to collect in the past 1 year is going to be extremely useful for us for our own mission, the Gaganyaan and the Bharatiya Antariksh Station. And very soon we shall see somebody traveling up in our capsule from our rocket, from our soil. इंस्पाइट ऑफ ऑल दिस ट्रेनिंग, आपने चाहे जितनी भी ट्रेनिंग की हो, लेकिन उसके बाद भी जब आप उस रॉकेट पे बैठते हैं और जब वो इंजन इग्नाइट होते हैं, व्हेन दे कैच फायर, आई थिंक इट इज़ अ वेरी डिफरेंट फीलिंग. आई हैड नॉट इमेजिन्ड ऑफ हाउ इट वुड फील लाइक, एंड आई वाज एक्चुअली running behind the rocket for the first few seconds. I took time to catch up to it. From that point of time till the time we splashed down, the experience has been unbelievable. It has been so exciting and so amazing that I really have been struggling to find words of how do I convey to you so that you live that through my words. Probably I'll take some more time. But the training prepares you very well for the mission, but the experience is very different from what you learn on ground. On orbit, when we reached, and you would have seen that the body undergoes a lot of changes. There are different things that happen to you. जब प्रधानमंत्री जी के साथ मेरा इंट्रैक्शन हो रहा था, तो आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि मेरा सर इस समय प्रॉब्ली इस साइज से दुगना था. इट वॉज डबल दिस साइज. एंड सो बहुत सारे चेंजेस होते हैं बॉडी में. यू डोंट फील गुड फॉर द फर्स्ट 3 to 4 days, बट यू स्टिल आर वर्किंग एंड यू आर इंटरेक्टिंग विद द सिस्टम्स एंड डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क. बट उसके बाद 3 से 4 दिन में ही आपकी बॉडी यूज टू हो जाती है, उसको अच्छा लगने लगता है, एंड यू स्टार्ट परफॉर्मिंग वेल एंड यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग ओके एंड एवरीथिंग बिकम्स ऑल राइट. एंड देन व्हेन यू हैव स्पेंड 20 days, आप जब रह चुके हैं वहाँ पे 20 दिन के बाद, व्हेन यू कम बैक, देन अगेन द बॉडी forgets of how it is to live in gravity. And so it again has to readjust and rewire to understand of what it takes to just walk or just hold things or just do things. I narrated this incident in one of the interviews, I think before, that I was sitting on my bed and I was holding my laptop, and the habit was so ingrained in me that I held my laptop and I left it, hoping that it will float. But unfortunately, we have gravity here. So it just fell down, and thankfully nothing happened because of the carpet. But that is the kind of rewiring your brain has to undergo, when you come back, when you go up or when you come back. I feel that this mission has been extremely successful in terms of a lot of things. We have been able to achieve all our technical objectives. The the objectives that we had laid down because of the effort of a lot of people. But there are a few takeaways from this mission that I would like to just talk about before I close out. And those takeaways are witnessing an execution of a human spaceflight mission like this gives you a lot of knowledge, lot of information. And these are intangibles. You cannot measure them. You cannot just put everything on paper and write it down. The experience goes much beyond and much deeper than what you are documenting or putting in books. So I think that is going to be very valuable for us, for our journey of human spaceflight mission that we are starting. I also realize the power of the scientific temper. The excitement that I saw in kids, the excitement that I saw in people that was there. I had 3 interactions from orbit with the kids. One was the live event, and then there were 2 ham radio interactions. And in each one of these interactions, there was at least one kid who asked, how do I become an astronaut? And I think that was the biggest win for me from this mission, that kids here are already thinking that they want to become an astronaut. And the good thing is that we are ready, ISRO is ready, India is ready with the rockets, with the launches, that we have the capability now that we can make this dream a reality very soon. So that was very fascinating for me. Another thing that was very peculiar for me, we had a crew which was from different countries, from Poland, Hungary, India, and United States. And the mission itself was being executed by people who were sitting in Japan, Europe, Germany, US, all over the world. But all of them are able to come together for one single cause, for one single mission. And what this conveyed to me was the unifying nature of space, of how it brings people together, the power of collaboration that it has. And I think that speaks volume about this discipline in particular, and overall values that we have as a nation of always trying to bring people together. So this resonated with me very strongly. And in the end, I just have a message for everybody who is listening in on this conference that we are having. All the kids who are listening to this message, I was sitting there with you. I was sitting on the chairs that you are sitting on today, and I had never thought I will reach here. I would go to space. But my message to you is, if I can do this, you can do this too. And we have to make it work, and we have to go forward from here. One mission after another. We'll have Gaganyaan, and thereafter Bharatiya Antariksh Station, and we'll have a series of missions. So I want you to dream. I want you to think that you can do this, and we will together make this happen. And with this, I will end this with the key message that I've had throughout the mission, while going up, while on orbit, and while coming back. भारत आज भी अंतरिक्ष से सारे जहां से अच्छा दिखता है. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद ग्रुप कैप्टन सुभांशु शुक्ला for this inspiring thought and speech. Now I request Honorable Minister Dr. Jiten Singh ji to address the media.
Thank you, Mr. Ojha. Chairman Narayanan, Group Captains Prashant, Subhanshu, friends from the media. I know you would be waiting to have more of interaction with the two gentlemen sitting left and right of me, so I would not take long, and without taking the risk of being repetitive, just to add one or two observations. To take off from what Narayanan was saying about the recent missions and the upcoming missions, I think what might have struck you is that the Department of Space has been around for nearly 70 years. And officially, the ISRO was established in 1969. So I'm sure one day, some of you, some of the analysts might be asked, why all this had to happen only in the last few years? Why it couldn't have happened in the last 5-6 decades? And since all of us belong to the domain of science, which teaches us not to speak without evidence, I think that's because in the last few years, we have started following the strategies which are followed by the rest of the world. Now our benchmarks are global benchmarks, our strategies are global, and the parameters that we are seeking to live up to global. And therefore, and this entire story began somewhere in 2018. For the first time, I think Dr. Kiran Kumar was the chairman, and he said to me that now we are ready to actually prepare a human being going up to the space. So I said, let's verify whether we can actually do that. So he got back to me after a few days. Yes, we are very sure. And this time now also to announce to the countrymen. And then the Independence Day was going to happen a few months, a few weeks later. So all of us decided and promised each other to maintain a guarded religious silence so that we could have the announcement done by the Prime Minister of India from the ramparts of Red Fort, because you know what it means when the Prime Minister himself announces. And I think that was the first momentous occasion for each one of us associated with the ISRO when we heard the Prime Minister on the Independence Day of 2018 declaring to the nation that we are now ready to send an Indian into the space. And thereafter, this entire process started. We had the potential astronauts, just Narayanan was talking you about. They started their training. Then suddenly the imponderables happened. The COVID struck us. They were there in Moscow that time. The Gregory Institute that got get back, the lockdown. So everything got delayed. Actually, we had very ambitiously planned it to have this first human mission coinciding with the 75th year of India's independence. But then since everything went haywire, so it could not materialize. And then, of course, when the training was almost complete, the Indian module, the Russian module, then this happened. The suggestion that we could have an Indian astronaut, and that happened when Prime Minister Modi was on a visit to DC and was having parleys with President Biden. And the first thing I told the then chairman, I said, look here, now you don't take it just on its face value. It's a recognition of the Indian talent. Now we are being solicited because they know the value of our contribution. So our collaboration has now reached an equal level. So we are collaborating at an equal platform.